dimineața. Ce faci? Bine? Good. I won't keep you long. I know it's the last presentation. I won't keep you long because actually I have to go to the toilet. So that's really time pressure. What I would like to talk today about is, of course, leadership. And of course, when you talk about leadership, the obvious question is, what does it take to be a good leader nowadays? And of course, I mean, if I listen to all the speeches today, you had really good tips. And I really personally learned a lot myself. And actually would like to thank all the speakers. But of course, they will say, it's about vision. You need to know where you need to go as a leader. You also need to know how to inspire, how to motivate people. I heard a lot of the speeches today about that. And thirdly, of course, you need to handle change. You need to know how to do change management. But I think there's another, even more important topic. And that's what I would like to talk about today, which is how to deal with uncertainty. How to deal with uncertainty if you don't know actually how the world will look like. And what I discovered in the years that I worked, actually I like that. I like change, I like uncertainty. Actually, it gives me energy. And how come? Well, I have to tell a little bit about myself. I lived in many different countries, worked in different countries, and of course every time I had to start over again. And quite an uncertain time. Also me coming to Romania, new culture, completely different from my background, me being Dutch, Latin-based culture. How will I deal with it? And I really enjoyed it, by the way. But apart from that, if you go even further back in my time, pre-university time, school, I changed schools a lot. I was counting them yesterday, and actually 6 times I changed school before university. And every time I had to go to a new class, a new school, and actually learn how to deal with uncertainty. So how do we deal actually that in business? And it is an uncertain world. I saw actually a really nice LinkedIn post a few days ago, and perhaps some of you have seen it. It's this one, with how the digital trends are changing the world. And I don't want to talk about these companies. What I want to talk about actually, or actually think about, and let you think about, is think about the competitors of those companies. Think about how uncertain the world it is. Then suddenly you have a Google or an Airbnb or an Apple as a competitor and changing your whole world. How do you deal with that? And that's I think, the trick, how to deal with that. And of course, how do you deal with uncertainty? It starts with having a good vision. And me as working for Philips, of course, we at Philips also have a good vision. We want to make the world a healthier, more sustainable place through innovation. Because innovation, that's the core for Philips. And Philips is an engineering company, and they make it always very fact-based, data-driven. So even we set a target on that. We want to improve the lives of 3 billion people by 2025. That's not the only vision we have, of course. We also see, of course, the trends in the market. We see digital also impacting our industries. We see shifting consumer trends from not only selling products, but actually selling services. And the question is, how do you deal with that? Because if I look at today's business, where I am, I'm selling products to the likes of Altex or Flanco. How do I deal with that? That's what I want to talk about. And actually, there are for me a few steps, few things I learned, and that I want to share with you, because I think it might be helpful also for you. First is, going from the current situation to that really future uncertainty and a future state is a really big step. In today's world, you really need to do it step by step. Like eating an elephant. You do that bite by bite. You don't eat the whole elephant in one go. Step by step, like a chess game. And that's also what I did in Romania, for example. Knowing that, of course, the world became more digital, I need to hire digital people. I need to talk to other parties. So let's do that. But you do it step by step to deal with uncertainty. And you don't worry about that you don't know. Secondly, you need to hire new capabilities. You need to think about, okay, in this new world, what do I actually need in terms of resources and skill sets? And again, digital world, I hire some digital people. But also, I said, we see that actually from Philips only selling products, we sell services. So let's hire some people that actually has a skill set in that know how to do that. I think that's important. By taking those steps, I think you move away from the uncertainty and start actually to change the organization. Then for me, a very important one is experiments. And that's very important also for Romania. Because I see that in the culture, and every culture is different, here there's quite a reluctance to experiment. The reason why that is because people don't like to fail. We don't want to be disappointed or actually tell the boss, sorry, I failed. And I think that is for me one of the most important things, and if you would ask my team and talk to them, they would tell you, yes, he always says, no, it's okay to experiment, and it's okay if you fail. It's really okay. And I really find if you create an organization where people start to experiment, you will see that actually you move much faster. But there's one thing, what I also say when I say it's okay to fail. Oh. And you need to learn from it. So I say it's okay, try it. It's okay if it doesn't work. But what I do find important and what I do really stimulate people to do is to learn. Now, that's easy. You can say learn. It doesn't work like that. So also here again, a very practical tip. How do you make people learn? You do that actually by asking them to set an objective up front. So let's experiment, let's try this campaign, let's try this new business opportunity. But what do you want to achieve with it? So set objectives. And I say, even if your objectives are completely wrong and off the scale later on, doesn't matter. But set objectives and evaluate afterwards. Because if you create an organization where people actually set objectives beforehand and evaluate afterwards, you do create that learning organization. If you add up the experimentation part to that, actually what do you get? An entrepreneurial organization. And that's exactly what you need in today's world to address that uncertainty. And that's what I would like to share with you today. Thank you very much. Tot ziens.